Hello, Internet.
What's up, Internet?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
If you missed it, check out the last two episodes on
Phoenician Scheme
and Sinners.
This episode will
Spoil
spoil
it.
the movie, so watch it first if you haven't
Seen
seen
it.
it yet. It is available on Netflix. We both highly recommend it.
We do. Surprised we got through that.
That's the fucking trailer. Hold on tight. Breaking movies in black and white. One's got notes, the other's a riot. Strap in, folks, we won't be quiet.
All right, we do our research. This movie was released on August 28th, 2020, written and directed by Charlie Kaufman.
You know, he actually got his start as a screenwriter and didn't direct anything until this first film.
Which was?
Come on, man. Go ahead. You told me about it first. It's from 2008. Come on.
Cynic Doce, New York, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That is not how you say that.
Cynic
But
Doce.
all right. So then there's How and Why with the ever-talented Michael Cera.
Yeah, that was in 2014. Anna Melissa in 2015, which had a groundbreaking stop-go animation that he co-directed with Duke Johnson.
Now, one of the more famous ones are people that talk about it most is I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which actually came on Netflix about, 4 years ago?
Yeah, probably about then. Yeah.
All right.
Kaufman is far more rooted in his role as a screenwriter, writing for TV series throughout the 90s and scoring his first feature film in 1999 with B and John Malkovich.
Human Nature 2001, the year I graduated.
One of my favorite films, Nicolas Cage adaptation.
The year you
2002.
graduated.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm being comic book accurate here.
I was held back. I didn't fail. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind in 2002.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind 2004.
And he wrote all the films listed above that he directed from 2008 to 2020. And in 2024, he wrote his first family movie, the Netflix original film, Orion and the Dark.
I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It's based on a novel by Ian Reid. That does say Orion.
It's
Orion?
Is it?
Oh, yeah, Orion.
Okay.
Is it Oriental?
Okay.
Orion and the Dark.
Ew.
Anyway, it looks like
Asia.
a really cool. It looks like I want to check it out because it looks kind of crazy, like the rest of his things are.
Like
but
Crazy
for
Rich
kids,
Asians? I asked you if it was Oriental.
Maybe.
Okay.
All
right.
Shot by. This is Lucas Zau. He's shot a number of Polish films. His most notable credit is 2023's Zone of Interest, which won some awards.
Now, this film features, some would say stars, the ever-talented Jesse Plemons as Jake.
He was in Shrink 2009, Observe and Report in 2009, Paul 2011, Battleship 2012, The Master in 2012.
And who could forget his role in Breaking Bad? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. White.
That's really the first time that I really ever remember seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
Black Mass in 2015, the second season of Fargo, the series in 2015, American Made.
Game Night. I'm sorry. Jeez, Louise, shameless plug. October 14th.
Did you see American Made, Tom Cruise?
I did.
Okay, how was it?
Yeah.
Okay, another time.
Durden and Royal with some excellent banter.
Vice 2018 and the standout episode of Black Mirror Season 4 USS Callister in 2017, which he returned in the 2025 season of Black Mirror Season 7 for the USS Callister sequel episode.
And speaking of this movie that we're about to do being on Netflix, one of the better movies that was on Netflix during the pandemic, The Irishman. I mean, around the time of the pandemic.
It's a longer movie.
But you like The Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen it.
Liar.
Drew, I like the concept. I like what he did. I just split it into episodes. Another episode. Judas and the Black Messiah 2021. Jungle Cruise 2021. The Power of the Dog in 2021. Another film in 2021. Antlers. Windfall in 2022. Killers of the Flower Moon in 2023.
Civil War.
Are we gonna have a Civil War tonight?
No, but it's funny because the next movie is Kinds of Kindness.
Is
Like,
are we
it's a
gonna-
war. Why do you think? But there's no war.
Okay. Currently in production on the new Hunger Games film to be released in 2026, and he is in Kirsten Dunst whenever he wants to be.
Is that a sexual pun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jessie Buckley, though she is called Lucy in the movie, she's credited in IMDb as Young Woman, which I think might be telling. She was in Wild Rose in 2018, Judy in 2019, Doolittle in 2020, The Courier in 2020, and like her co-star Jesse Plemons, she also starred in the Fargo series for a season, a few seasons after him in season 4 of 2020. The Lost Daughter, a 2021 film written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, Men in 2022, Fingernails in 2023. This also has Toni Collette as the mother. She's nearly 100 credits, but the most notable in relation to this film is her unhinged performance in Royal's favorite film, Hereditary. Interesting fact about the casting, the voice on the phone was played by Oliver Platt, who was simply credited as the voice. That guy that when she answered the phone, that was Oliver Platt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Hoverplat?
Yeah.
See? All the jokes to get we still got the jokes, right?
And the character who played Arnold Schwarzenegger, another comedian, I'm not quite sure of his name. Hoverplat? Oliver Platt.
All right. Connections. I have a few connections. Do you have any connections?
Take them away, David.
A Beautiful Mind. Beautiful Mind on DVD can be seen in Jake's childhood bedroom, and the ending of I'm Thinking of Ending Things is seemingly modeled after the ending of A Beautiful Mind, from the main character accepting a Nobel Prize to everyone appearing in old age makeup. Some of Jake's speech is actually quoted directly from A Beautiful Mind. My other connection is Far From the Tree. Can you tell me something about this movie that inspired a running storytelling device in Far From the Tree?
How dare you? I will not be making any comparisons between Far From the Tree and this film.
But you have
can.
to.
You can. I refuse.
Okay. Every time kind of, you lose time. And then
I did lose some time.
The moment where you and Jayla are standing actually right here, close to where I'm sitting, hugging, and then she disappears and your arms are still there. Like, time moves forward a lot for her, but not at all for you.
I love you, Dad. Thank you. One, 2, 3. Are you ready?
Is it midnight already?
That idea was stolen directly from this movie. So that's a connection. That's a confirmed
Well, at
connection.
least somebody did it right.
Thank you. I
You're
guess. This film would pair nicely with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, another film that was written by Kaufman. What's your connections?
None.
You don't? Okay. All right.
Piggy!
Yep. In the final sequence of the film, Kaufman wanted a real pig for the old man to follow into the school. But after realizing that pigs can't walk gracefully on wet floors or turn their heads, the FX team created the animated pig using Photoshop and After Effects.
So Winnie was a bunch of bullshit?
Yeah.
What about Babe?
No.
Only two I know.
I don't know. Did they ever walk on wet surfaces?
Yeah, they eat their own feces. I'm pretty sure it's slop all over the place.
Okay. In the car, around 17 minutes at the beginning of the movie and almost 23 minutes at the end of the movie are spent conversing in the car, so nearly 40 minutes of the film is just the two main characters talking in the car. It is the closest a film has ever come to simulating driver's fatigue that sets in on a long drive. Agreed?
I'm just here to do the podcast, man.
Okay. Hear me out.
Let's first and foremost start it this way here by saying this. He did ask me to watch this film, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'll just start out by saying this because I don't want to forget it. There's certain times in life you're tested as a fan of film and a filmmaker. And that did happen to me 24 hours ago. I was tested like I've never been. I came this close to talking about our friendship downgrading. But I mean, it's not like you knew, but you did know, because you said it was your second watch. So I did make a few observations. So I'm happy that this film spit in your face within the first 5 minutes. All those crossfades. Oh, cut David up and down.
Those were done well.
Oh, no.
I've always
hypocrite.
said,
Hypocrite.
No, I've always said a cross dissolve can be used if it's used to like further the story as a device in the story. This movie screws with time. Cross dissolve is the perfect way to have time overlap. It's
easy.
a story
It's
device.
a cheap way.
Yeah. Okay.
A few things I did notice about the film.
It's an effective way.
Cheap, effective. They both have ease, man. So what I look at, and I say this, I will say this. If I'm going to,
Mine has more ease,
I'll be
though.
positive by saying that the film does. I do like two things that they did. Number one, it's what you did with I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday, and a little bit with Far From the Tree. The desaturation of the scenes does play into what this film is about. And then the only time that they are truly in color is at the dinner table, of the hair, the swing set in the beginning of the film. When they drive it, they see it. The boards are light up. So that's done purposely. So I will give credit for that. I definitely love that tone of the film right there.
Everything was done purposefully.
In your opinion?
I just want to preface before you go into all that.
I'm not going into all that. I'm just picking.
You're making the comparison.
Why are you looking over here?
I'm not. I can't even see. I can't read that scribble. That's like next to a doctor. I'm saying that you're making references to Far From the Tree. I'm going to kill someone this Friday. This, if I did the movie exactly the way I wanted to, with zero compromise or worry about being able to sell it. If I had like a name that sold itself, this would be like the exact kind of movie that I would make.
Don't ask me to be in it. Now, I did respect the ratio. You know that. I don't think you see it right away.
He had to fight for that.
Huh?
He had to fight for that. Netflix didn't want to do it because they thought that
It's against
people
their
would think
little-
their TVs were messed up.
Right. No, I knew it had to be done purpose. So that definitely, along that car ride you talked about, I timed the first car ride about 16 minutes because they said the longest car scene was in, I think it was a Ryan Reynolds Netflix movie, what, 6 feet underground, still was 6 feet something. And that chase scene was forever. But I was like, I wish I was in this car. And they fell asleep, and there was a semi in front of them, and I was in the back seat, so I can fly through the back seat, through the semi, and tell the guy driving it, just go, man, keep going. So, with that being said, while they are in the car, I do make a few observations the first time. That's one thing I will give this film credit for. Again, there is no shortage of theories. Like, it's not whatsoever. You can go so many places with this. So when they're in the car, I immediately start coming up with theories. I'm like, wait a minute. He's cutting her off way too fast to not know either she's thinking out loud literally or he knows what she's saying. So like I'm looking at that. So Jack, correct? Jake, I'm sorry, Jack. So Jake's in the car. He's listening to her talking. And now definitely the trope of the name of the film, very clever. I will give cleverness to that. I'm very clever. It's very misleading, but it does bring that home. But in that car, I just felt like I lost a piece of my soul. It was like,
I think that was supposed to happen.
nah. And I'm not even going to go too far into it, but I will say this. It does leave you wondering where this is going. Now, these are just some of the theories I started coming up with as the movie was going along. At some point, I asked myself, is this a semi-reverse Get Out? This is when they're at the dinner table. And the reason why I'm thinking that, I'm like, maybe Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Jake?
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal?
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake. There we go. Maybe Jake, because maybe Jake brought her home, a la and Get Out, to her parents. Because I'm not going to lie to you, if you watch this, when the father and mother first come down the stairs, that the father looks like he's going Men in Black, like he's trying to get his skin in his hat. And I'm like, they're finna eat her.
And they won't even acknowledge him.
It's worth it. Like they're finna eat her.
Yeah.
One of the most disturbing things
There
in this
was
film,
Get Out vibes, definitely.
it definitely Get Out. And again, kudos to them for that. But then I'm not going to tell you this. Like one of the most disturbing things I saw.
I'm sorry. On that note, you don't cast Jesse Plemons unless you're trying to either have a really bad guy or an audience that you want them to think is the bad guy. That's the only reason the casting of Jesse Plemons confirms that you're supposed to think that.
And man, kudos to him for going there, man.
Remember
your boy I Am Sam?
Oh yeah.
Went home into Hamden. So with that being said,
You think he's retarded?
Then I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, you say the R word?
You think Jake is retarded?
Yes, but not the actor.
Okay.
And then I was like, is this a reverse Truman Show? I thought a reverse Truman Show was going on here to where somebody else was watching them, especially that really quick. They do it for like a quick flash towards the end of the movie to where he's like, he's watching us. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay, they're going there. So, and again, I asked myself, I am an hour and 11 minutes into this film, and I said, this movie bet not fucking Tenet me.
It didn't.
Did it? No, I did. It did not. It did not. Okay. And also,
I still don't understand Tenet.
I don't either. I just pretend. I remember people. I just tell them that I do. I did have a question at a certain point, but this was for the first 30, 40 minutes of the film. Why was the aging not bothering her when she first got to the house? Because I'm like, clearly, these people are. And so at this point, I had to remove myself from what was going on.
Well, why wouldn't the agent be bothering her?
Well, we'll get to that, won't we? Very clever trope. Very clever. You have to be like a super film buff to catch this, because at first it just seems like her phone's just ringing, but it's a new phone with an old ringtone, done purposely, very purposely. And I know you did not have
I didn't catch that. That's just another. That's the old swing set in front of the new swing set in front of the old house.
And notice when I had that written down. Notice when she brings that up, he tries to get off of it really quick and starts making excuses to why that's there.
Yeah, because she was about to break in his psyche. But I'll get into that. Hear me out. These are my theories. So I broke them down into a few different categories. Regarding identity and subjectivity, around 4 minutes in, it's like Jake is hearing her thoughts, suggesting merging identities. Around the same time, we see a reflection of Lucy in a cracked mirror, suggesting something suspicious about her identity. At an hour and 50 minutes, toward the end of the movie, the janitor speaks to Lucy telepathically, much like the way Lucy will speak to Jake telepathically through her thoughts in the car. Lucy keeps getting calls from herself, further hinting that this is all in Jake's mind, which is fractured. The calls are like mental pings or glitches in Jake's mental simulation. The fact that the name changes from Lucy to Yvonne or Louisa suggests that Lucy represents numerous loves in Jake's life. Around 12 minutes in, Lucy notices crust on Jake's mouth and doesn't even react to it, but he becomes self-conscious about it as if he heard her thoughts. Around 15 minutes and again at 18 minutes, Lucy looks eerily directly into the camera. Another hint that rather than being a real character in the story, she is just a device to tell the story, interacting directly with the viewer. After finishing reciting her poem, Jake tells her it's like something she wrote about him. Around 28 minutes in, we get the slippers metaphor, with Jake literally offering Lucy the ability to walk in his shoes, even saying, "My slippers are your slippers," because she is him, or at least a figment inside his imagination. 30 minutes in, Lucy is looking around Jake's house and says it reminds her of a house that she grew up in, probably because it is the house she grew up in, because she is in Jake's memory. 41 minutes, Lucy starts emulating the mom, her mannerisms, her stuttering, relying on Jake to give her the words that she can't seem to find. Nothing like the well-versed Lucy that we got to know on the car ride. At an hour and 14 minutes, on the drive back, Lucy becomes the one who is now finishing Jake's sentences for him. Also around this time, she begins smoking a cigarette out of nowhere, and her voice noticeably changes as she becomes more assertive and less patient with Jake than the soft-spoken, passive Lucy that we've come to know. Around 50 minutes in, Lucy looks at a childhood photo of Jake, clearly a young boy, and swears that it is a photo of her. At around 55 minutes in, Lucy puts her head on the dad's shoulder in a way that seems so out of place for her character to do, but if you consider her to be an avatar for Jake at another time in his life, it makes more sense. Around an hour and 5 minutes in, Lucy suggests that she doesn't know where she ends and Jake begins. Every time Lucy says that she wants to go home, Jake clarifies to the farmhouse, which is his home. This section is regarding time, memory, and aging. At around 9 minutes on their drive out, Lucy notices the brand new swing set in front of the abandoned home, an early hint that time is fractured with past, present, future taking place simultaneously. At around 22 minutes, she says they are both dead as they pull up to Jake's parents' house, and then as they pull up to the school around an hour and 40 minutes in, she starts to tell him she's thinking of ending things. At around 27 minutes, Lucy says a telling line, other animals live in the present, but humans cannot, so they invented hope. Like the movie telling on itself, humans' inability to live in the present. If you think about it, oftentimes we're yearning for or regretting the past, or we're hopeful for or dreading the future. We are always mentally time traveling. The film just imagines what that would look like applied to a visual narrative. At around 30 minutes, when they first get to the house, Jake keeps acting like his mom is about to come down, but it takes forever, suggesting fractured time, or the way it can stretch, pause, or loop as we get hung on a thought inside our head. At around 48 minutes, when Jake and Lucy are talking in the living room, you can hear the parents yelling and arguing in the other room, which seems totally out of context and is not acknowledged at all by Lucy or Jake, suggesting that these are just echoes in Jake's subconscious. At around 52 minutes, the mom asked if Jake remembered his 50th birthday, another hint that we are outside of time. Parents age and de-age throughout scenes. Around an hour and 2 minutes, there's a door labeled Mom's room after Dad died. At around an hour and 11 minutes, Mom's on her deathbed and now Dad appears younger again. Lucy's sweater disappears and reappears, suggesting fractured memory or perspective. These changes seem to occur as the calls come in with different names. When Lucy calls, she's wearing the knitted black and orange jumper. When Louise calls, she's wearing the black and fawn jumper. When Yvonne calls, she's wearing the long and sleeved blouse and dress. I think these are different females in Jake's life, and we never get his mother's name, but I would bet that it is Yvonne, because when Yvonne calls, that's when Lucy begins to emulate Jake's mother. And if you notice, based on the wallpaper patterns in the home, likely chosen by Jake's mother, the dress that Lucy is wearing seems like a pattern that Jake's mother would choose for herself. To dig deeper into that, the pattern can always be seen underneath the sweaters that she wears, suggesting the Freudian theory that the women men end up with are really just emulations of their moms. The house is almost like a palace of memories, with the basement serving as the location where trauma is stored. You get the scratch on the door. Jake says he hates the basement. He even comes right out and says he's hiding in there, obviously talking about himself. When Lucy walks down into the basement and turns around, she sees Jake looking down at her. When Jake disappears, all we see is snow, abstractly and inexplicably blowing around from inside the house. This is a premonition of the final traumatic moment of Jake's life, his suicide, willfully dying of hypothermia in his truck to be buried under a mound of snow. Also in the basement, we see posters for the artist Ralph Albert Blakelock, who in real life spent the latter part of his life in and out of mental institution as his mental health rapidly declined. Another hint about the state of Jake's mind and why, if this whole film takes place in his mind, it is so unreliable. This next section is fantasy versus reality. 33 minutes in, the wet dog that never dries suggests a looping memory, a traumatic looping memory. 49 minutes in, Jake apologizes for the smell of the dog. He is aware in his subconscious that the dog is dead, so he is aware of the smell. 57 minutes in Jake's childhood room, we see the dog's urn, confirming that the dog is dead, which confirms that we are existing in a space where time is fluid. At 46 minutes in, the fake Robert Zemeckis rom-com suggests intrusive media fantasies, something that Jake and Lucy discuss in the car. At an hour and 6 minutes, the story of how Jake and Lucy met changes. At dinner, they met during a trivia night when Lucy was out with her friends. When Jake tells his dad how they met, he went to a restaurant where Lucy worked. This suggests again that Lucy represents different people in Jake's life. Around the 90-minute mark, Tulsi Town. You get the two mean girls only look at Jake. Jake doesn't want them to see him. Lucy recognizes the other worker, even though supposedly Jake is the only one that's ever been there. The girls and Jake's hands both have abrasions on them. Like Jake, the girl apologizes for the smell, saying it isn't varnish like she previously claimed. The girl doesn't want Lucy to go with Jake, offering to let her stay with them. I think the two pretty girls represent the girls that made fun of Jake in high school, but we are inside of his mind where he wishes they would have adored him, which is why they inexplicably are seeming to look at him lovingly and flirtatiously. The other worker represents a previous love interest of Jake's, someone who cares for him. If Lucy is just a representation of Jake, and this is all in Jake's mind, then the girl is aware of the final outcome, which is why she doesn't want Lucy, aka Jake, to go to the school. But this is timeless, so like the dog, Jake is already dead, hence the smell. It is further confirmed that Lucy and the girl at the restaurant are both stand-ins within Jake's memory when Lucy momentarily becomes the girl from Tulsi Town when they're driving in the car again around 95 minutes in. Shortly after that happens, we see Jake lose his temper in a fit of rage, seemingly out of nowhere, before calling Lucy Ames, possibly short for Amy. Does the girl at the restaurant represent a girl named Amy who was a past love interest of Jake's? In the school parking lot, around an hour and 45 minutes, Lucy loses her temper in a very similar fashion to Jake. At an hour and 45 minutes, all the burr cups suggest another loop, like what happens to memories in a fragmented mind. An hour and 55 minutes, the dance sequence representing a metaphorical battle between young hope and old regret. What I take from the dance sequence is the story of a young man with hopes and dreams to be an artist or a physicist who fell in love with a woman, but he ended up not realizing his dreams, becoming a janitor, bitter and violent with a temper that cost him his relationships, leaving him to be the lonely old man that we see pacing the halls at the high school. My last section is Jake is the janitor, and we are inside of his mind. At around 10 to 15 minutes in, Jake discusses the school production of the Oklahoma performance, which is clearly from the janitor's perspective. We see this again around 1 hour and 25 minutes in. At an hour, Jake's dad says every cloud has a silver. At 1 hour and 21 minutes in, Jake echoes this sentiment. This could easily be a son emulating his father, but I think it is another hint that this is all taking place in Jake's mind. These are all his thoughts. 1 hour, 8 minutes, when Lucy is in the basement, she finds a washer full of shirts with the RHS emblem on them. This is the janitor's uniform. At an hour and 52 minutes, the janitor offers Lucy the same pair of slippers, a confirmation that he is Jake and they embrace each other like old lovers. In summary, around 1 hour 15 minutes in, Lucy says that it's like we're stationary and time is moving through us. As I get older, I can feel my relationship with time evolving. If you think about kids, they seem like they don't know the difference between 5 minutes and 5 hours, but as we get older, it's almost like we revert back to a similar distorted perception of time. Like something could be 20 years ago and feel like 5 years ago. So maybe it isn't our ability to understand time that changes, maybe it's the actual way that we experience time that's changing, and we are always understanding time exactly as it's happening to us. The movie is an old Jake reminiscing on his life before he commits suicide, sorting through his relationships, his traumas, his hopes, his dreams. Why is Lucy needed to be the center point of this story then? Because like Jake's father hints at during the dinner scene, he doesn't know how to feel about something unless there is someone there to show him how he should feel. An empty landscape cannot be sad or happy without a subject existing in the landscape to express those emotions in order to inform him how he should feel. Jake uses Lucy as the same device to inform his emotions as he sorts through his past. The movie ends with one final fantasy of how Jake wished his life turned out, stealing moments from a film, A Beautiful Mind, that he grew up watching. That's my theories. Do you have a retort? You want to go right into these questions that I asked ChatGPT for?
Neither.
Okay. Real quick, before you go, there was a few things that I noticed during the editing that I had not picked up on before we shot this episode, and I would kick myself if I didn't mention these before you go. Regarding Jake and Lucy being the same person, in the casting, you have Jesse Plemons and Jesse Buckley playing these two lead characters. So that's just like another like happy accident maybe that happened in the casting that also further lends to the idea that these two characters are the same person, because essentially they're played by actors who are both Jesse. 30 minutes into the movie, when they first go into the house, there's a sign right above the place that Jake grabs the slippers from, and that sign says "Call Again," which I think is like a subconscious message that Jake is sending to himself within this simulation to like keep calling Lucy to try to break the loop of what's happening here. And lastly, when they are in the living room with the parents and Lucy gets another call, she goes to look for her glasses, and for some reason they're in Jake's pocket. Almost another little hint that they are the same person. They are his glasses, they're in his pocket, it's all one and the same. That's it, I'm done now. Thank you for watching this theory. Bye.
I have some things I would like to say that I'll tell you this, you make some very valiant points in there. I don't think those were your thoughts, though. I think that's truly what happened in the film based off what you said. It's almost like you didn't do an elevator pitch, you did a building pitch. Like you went up the whole building.
I told you exactly what the movie meant.
To you.
No, that's
pretty on
clearly
point. Yeah.
Well,
don't you ever use the word clearly with this film again. Ever. No clearlies are here. There's no clearly.
I mean, do you agree with that? She's not real. Nothing. Do you agree with the fact that it's all in his head?
No, it became real when I watched the whole film. It became real because my real time was used to watch and...
Yes, but do you agree that it was all in his head?
Let's go over this thing, man.
Why can't you just... Man, you could be a great politician.
I'd rather be a great actor. All right. So, let's go ahead and... seriously, though, you did make some very good points. Put it this way. If someone watched that film and they didn't want to take 20, 30 minutes on what really happened, YouTube video, you can just use that segment as a standalone segment. So I think you did very good with that. And again, shout out to almost breaking Guinness Book of Records for the breath thing. All right. Okay.
Hey, I just passed my PFT.
Right. So I'm going to bring up some things you didn't bring up, but you did touch on. So, Jake, you said this is a film about Jake?
Yeah.
Jake. All right.
Jake's
He's going to mess with me later. He'll be like, John boy. So they're in the barn. You see she said something about the sheep. And you know I caught that right away. But she was talking about they eat, they shit, they die. Mm-hmm. Those are the sheep. And so clearly, if you're a conspiracy theorist or you've heard the term sheeple, you get into that right away. But then they go a little bit deeper, but they don't really hit on it unless you're paying attention. They say, what about the lamb? And he gets freaking pissed right away. And if you're paying attention, the reason why he gets pissed, because you mentioned this film was about time.
Yeah, why would you ask? It's dead. Why does it matter what happened to it?
It's frozen. Like he was frozen somewhat.
No, that he was angry. Yeah, he was defensive, almost like she was talking about him.
They'll thaw out soon. All right, but again, I want to put on that Jake was frozen like the lamb. I think that's why he got so offended when because again, he's frozen. When I say frozen, they're with his parents.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Right. Now, I want to say this before I forget it too. If you really do simplify this thing and think about it, Jake is staying at home with it. It's like the biggest torture in the world. And I'll get towards the end, but I just want to say it now so I can come back to the end. Jake is staying home, taking care of his parents. And that's what's happening. You see that, like, even though they're getting older, you see he truly loves them. He takes care of them, all this other stuff. But other than that, the only place you really see him at, like that version of him, is at the school. So it's the ultimate, like, I can't go anywhere and do something because I have such love for my parents and I want to be a bad son and I want to be with them. And then my job is the worst job in the world because each year there's a new, every 3-4 years, these people are coming. They have all these dreams and ambitions. And I don't know how long he's been there, but it's clear it's been like 20 years. Mm-hmm. You've seen everybody come and go and you're there. So yeah, that Frozen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Frozen. Yeah, good point.
I'll make a few, just like the R. Okay. Now, I did want to be petty one more time and say it was an hour and 46 minutes and 0.30 seconds into the film. And I said to myself again, They better bring it home. I'm gonna drive over to David's house right now. And this is when
But how long is this? Hour and 46?
No, this is about 2:14, man.
Oh, so at the end of the movie.
No, yeah, towards the end. I still was wondering what, and then they start doing the ballerina in the hallways. I'm like, did you just High School Musical me? I am finna fucking lose it. So
It was, no.
now I'm gonna tell you where I started feeling. Now I will say this: at one point in the film, it did make me feel like. Remember, I was telling you other films that made me feel like we were watching Shutter Island. I got a Shutter Island feel, a hard vibe on that
Yeah,
one.
well,
Now,
that's another movie that it doesn't really take place in his head, but it is
a lot of it does. People are forced to participate in his fantasy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'll say that. Now I'm gonna tell you where I was like, I was exhausted at this point, but I was happy. But I still knew that I was wrong. I was just when I saw that, it was such a poignant shot. When I saw the 42 Oreo Shack milkshakes in the side of the thing, like, oh, this thing's been happening.
Said the multiple birds are in a loop. Yeah,
You said the burgers? Or?
the multiple bird. There are burr cups.
Oh, burr. What's burr?
It's whatever the Tulsi Town version of a blizzard is that they hold upside down.
Right.
But yeah, multiple cups in there is definitely.
I like that. I like it a lot. Oh, Netflix, you did it again. Remember, you sent me the picture of the movie to make sure I didn't miss it as I'm looking for it.
Mhm.
My title was
changed it?
completely. And I'll show you mine. I said I was going to do it.
There
live.
wasn't a single black dude in this movie, so who'd they put for you?
Well, there's no black guy on the cover. Why'd you assume that was what I was saying?
Well, because they usually target.
They do. I said they changed the cover, not the person. Jesus Christ! What time is it, Angela? Is it after 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. This boy's getting loose. They changed it to this right here. Right here.
Oh wow.
The burr.
Okay, so
Chocolate milk.
They appealed to they appealed to your sweet tooth.
I don't eat sweets. I'm
Okay.
chocolate.
I was going to say
That is hilarious. Spritzer. All right. So okay, here we go. We're still going. She's deciding to put it. Oh, one of my, I guess, favorite fan theories was what I wanted this movie to be about was at first I was like, oh shit, they're going almost Ghost of Christmas Past on me. This girl she probably committed suicide like 2-3 weeks ago. And so she's in that crossroads now, and depending on how she works this thing out, and he's the deciding factor. Like, he's like, you don't want to go there, you don't want to do this, stay at the farm, stay in purgatory. Like, he's trying to keep. I was like, that'll be dope. But then I was wrong.
Okay, so you're just mad that you're wrong.
No, that was an R. But no, I don't. No, I was wrong all the way through. I'll give you that. Like, I wasn't, and I was not mad about being wrong, because I'll get to that in a second. I wasn't mad. I had a lot of great theories. Oh, I even had the I just knew I had it when they were at the dinner table and they looked at her toes, and then the mom looked at it was like Close Talker from Seinfeld. The dad was like right here to her talking, and so I was like, oh, it's getting fucking weird. And then the mom looked down at the toes. I was like, they're finna eat her. And I said, if they eat this bitch, David is right. This may be one of the best. They made me wait an hour for this. Yes. I thought they were finna eat her.
I thought she looked down. Yeah.
Because they were serving all this food. I'm like, where's the meat?
Yeah.
I saw the corns, and I'm like, eat her. And it never happened. I wanted it. So I wanted them to eat her. Not sexually, edibly. I wanted them to eat her. This is just a personal observation as an A-list actor. I guarantee you, other than the two leads, 98% of the other cast, other than the writers, did not know what the fuck this film was about.
That's why I give a lot of credit to Toni Collette, which I'll get into. But as an A-list actor, wouldn't you love to be Jesse Plemons in a film like this, to have that kind of like, hey, you don't have to worry about action, no physicality. You're just literally going to sit in a car and perform like a monologue for 17 to 22 minutes.
I've lived it, Dottie. But no, honestly, I'll answer that question. Yeah, because to me, if anything, and I'll go ahead and say it now, because you led me right into it, which is, I think if this was a play that I went to, I'd have been ecstatic. Because I'm getting more of the, like, I would have saw the props on the stage. I know what I'm dealing with. I'm expecting long monologues. You've put me in the mindset of what I'm getting ready to watch. And that's my only gripe. The story was there. For film purposes, they could have got me in and out in 90 minutes, and I'd have been like, bravo, young man. But I felt I can't say stretched it. It's Kaufman's baby, so he did do it. But had this been a stage play, you could have kept it at the same time. But this is film.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I have that in my notes that I wrote before this conversation.
Now, one big thing here, like, I was just like, oh, the balls on this guy. I literally thought either Netflix
went me.
No.
Charlie Kaufman?
I was. He wanted me just to say it. He wanted more.
I mean, me too, though, right?
Right, Rocket. I thought that either I had paid for the wrong subscription to Netflix and I had ads, or I had hit the remote and something had happened. When I saw that shit say directed by like 60 minutes into the film, I'm like, did I miss something? Did this motherfucker drop a commercial in on me? And
Oh, the Robert Zemeckis.
yeah. I was just like, that was crazy work, man. Okay. All right. One other thing here. I got in here again. Again, the car ride.
Wait, are you in scenes now?
No, I'm just saying moments.
Okay, I
Just
see
moments.
scenes.
No,
Well, no, but
no, I kind of learned, but I was taking the
I
moments
feel
from
like
the
you're
scene.
drifting out of theories, though.
No,
I just had a few. I just wanted
my
to.
last theory was not a theory; it's a fact. That's an R on his shirt.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you now.
Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
Just a few questions
Okay.
from chat. I know
I got you.
filmmakers hate ChatGPT, but get with it or get lost. ChatGPT has produced a series of questions for us.
Okay. Which ones we taking?
There's like 10 of them, so we could just pick and choose. We could just pass if it's not interesting.
Go for it.
How reliable is the narrator in this story, and at what point did you stop trusting the reality that you were seeing?
The narrator on your second, that's unfair. Well, it's not unfair.
Well, we both agree that the narrator is Lucy.
Loosely, we agree on that.
Loosely, Lucy. Well, she's the one. Even though I say that Jake is telling the story through her, she is the device that's telling the story. She is the narrator.
I would have
hear.
to tip towards your side and say that because the one smoking gun is when they see the picture on the thing and she's like, "No, that's me." She says that.
Yeah,
It changes.
Clearly is a little boy.
Yeah.
Do you think that the girlfriend character is real? If not, what or who does she represent?
Every girl that passed through that school that he never was going to get with for 30 years.
Yeah, so we're both
The
in
it girl,
agreement.
or not even the it girl, because they said it the town place. I don't mean like not pretty, but like I don't like them type of girl. Like so, yeah.
What do you make of the nonlinear progression of the time inside the house?
I have no problem with that from a creative perspective. I mean, you got directors like Tarantino, he does it outside the house. But and when you see these films, I like to be thrown off. Films shouldn't just have to be linear. It's art. You don't paint the Mona Lisa. I'm gonna start with her hair. Then it's what it is, man.
And we both agree that Jake is that the janitor is the real Jake,
With the orange that shirt, yes.
and that this whole film takes place in his mind. So. The question is, do we think the film takes place in Jake's mind? And if so, what part of his life are we witnessing, the middle, the end, or somewhere else?
That you can't answer the second part of that.
Yeah,
First part, yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
second
such a
part,
ridiculous
all.
question to ask about this movie. If
Yeah,
we're witnessing all of it at the same time, everything, everywhere, all at once. Why do you think?
A24.
Why do you think the film incorporates references to musicals like Oklahoma and mimics other movies like The Janitor watching the Robert Zemeckis movie?
First off, because it was what the original source material was based off of. And that's why I told you I felt like it should have been a musical or on Broadway. All of that plays, all the things, and also that's why I called it the Reverse Truman Show. He was taking everything he learned, and he had no other than his mom and the kids at the school, and that's not the combination you want. He literally was like, I get why somebody wanted to end it from his perspective. It's like. I mean, damn, every year freshmen come in and then 4 years later they're going, then again going, and you're going back home taking care of mom, going to back dad, bam, boom, boom, you're painting. He used to be a painter.
Well, he never was, I don't think.
I don't even think either. I think Lucy was.
I think Lucy was a reflection of what he wanted to be.
I'll get to that last.
Because she was a physicist and a painter, and at the end, he's accepting an award for being a physicist.
Those two things can't be true.
No, I don't think either of them are because he's clearly a janitor.
There's two things that aren't true.
A physicist doesn't become a janitor.
Right, and nobody lives in Delaware.
We'll get to that.
Yep.
In the next project.
Yep.
This is more of a question for you because I feel like I pay attention more so to the visuals of what, like the actions of what's happening, and you are better at like hearing the conversations and the dialogue. What do you take from the long conversations in the car? What do you think they reveal about Jake's worldview and his emotional state?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't think we should overstate it, but I will say there's two things can happen in that. Number one, again, way to stretch it. If you want to talk about getting away with 40 minutes of screen time and a location, independent filmmakers, this is the film for you. Only got $500, got a car. This is you.
You'll be really angry to hear that like a full 2 pages of dialogue wasn't even originally written. She was just reading verbatim a review from a film that she was talking about.
That's what I hate that part though.
But it works in the story because they are all just like emulating, like at the end he's doing A Beautiful Mind. Like they're only like regurgitating the things they've seen and heard, or the things that he's seen and heard throughout his life.
Wait a minute. So are you trying to tell me you think 2 real people are in this car?
No, I think no real person is in this car, but they exist inside of the driver's mind.
So, okay, I agree. So, but with that being said, I'm just from a film perspective of looking at it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not thrilled by it because again,
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, again, you can have a difference of opinion, but at a certain point, I'm not father crime time. I am not the one that judges what's a long scene and what's a short scene. But I've heard people say, man, that Quentin Tarantino, that Martin Scorsese, they sure do have, when it comes to scene times, theirs are usually the longest. Kaufman, did he leave and come back? Did they lose footage like NASA did with the theory how to get to the moon? Like, dude, I love film. I found myself like, yo.
Yeah, the pacing,
get to it.
The pacing could have been better, but the visuals were cool.
It could have been a lot fucking better.
I mean, for having 17 or like 20-ish minutes back to 2 times in a film in a car, he came up with some pretty interesting angles.
I would have lost it on that film set because I know if that scene was 16 to 20 minutes long on film, brother.
Think about the different angles. You got 2 people in a car, and there was some interesting, there was some storytelling in the angles. The way it would go from him, and then it would slowly pan over to her, and you'd get lost in what feels like infinite darkness on the way over.
Just explain what you said earlier. Visually, I'm pretty sure you loved it. As an actor, I'm hearing all these lines, and we're not going. It was not linear. Nothing was happening. And if you want to talk about brilliance in a car, have you not seen Planes, Trains, Automobiles? That's storytelling in a car. Thank you.
I'm not debating that.
I know you're saying what does one thing have to do with the other. I saw them in the car for a lot of time, and John Candy and Steve Martin were entertaining the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to entertain you. I think
these people in this movie either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they were trying to entertain you. I think they were doing something else. I think they were trying to get in.
Wasting my fucking time. Give me something, man. Go to the playground.
It almost felt meditative. There was certain times I felt like I was being hypnotized.
I was pulling my fucking hair out.
Between the snow. Have you ever been on a long car ride? Doesn't it make you feel like you were actually on a long car ride?
And what did they tell you on a long car? Everybody shut up or I'm turning around. And they wouldn't shut up.
I would want the pacing to be different, but I also don't know how they could have done it and achieved what they did. Like, especially when after they leave the house, they needed to be in the car for as long as they were for it to feel out of place. Like, really, where
were they going? Buttfuck Egypt?
No,
where did they live?
I'm saying they were going nowhere. That's the point. They were going
crazy.
Nowhere.
That's why it was so long.
But how, like, you went to school here? This is where you work? This is like at least an hour and a half away from where you live.
Well, she did bring that up. She's like, why aren't the roads smooth? What's going on? Like, she did bring that part up. I give that to her. But again, the car. Go to the next one. I hated it.
Okay.
EJ.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Shout out.
So this is the last one. Did the film want to be understood or just felt? Is there a danger in trying too hard to decode it?
There's never a danger in trying too hard. If you don't believe me, watch David Polanski, TTFT Asteroid City. It's never dangerous because he did an amazing job on that. But I think that the film, here's the thing, art is subjective, but I really feel that it was to be felt. If you're trying to go into, it's like, what does he really mean by the words? No. But if you go into from a Wes Anderson feel or from the visuals are really the words, and the words are just there as lettuce and all this other stuff. It really drives you through it because, again, this film has done a really good job in the last few years that I've seen that with other films that really struggle to do, which they did not apologize for. The dad's right here, right now. He's 50. Oh, dad, he's dead. And the 3 scenes like that you saw, it was almost like a Back to the Future if it was R-rated and serious. The parents were getting older, but one thing that did not change, Jake cared for them all. Remember, it's like, let's go downstairs in a minute. I was like, he's finna beat her.
Yeah, he had a temper.
I thought he was going to beat, and that's where the brilliance of Jesse Plemons comes in.
You talked about how the old man jumped in and was watching them when they kissed.
It was quick. It was a quick jump.
That was him, like, seeing outside of his subconscious for a second.
So they're watching
watching himself.
But you're right. You're not wrong about that. But that can only happen when he gets so close to the school. And if you notice, right before they get to the school, they're at the little, what is it, the little lullaby, not lullaby, but the Lululand, the little
Toasty Town.
Toasty Town. They say they want her to stay there because they know where this story ends. Mm-hmm. When he gets there, he's going to kill himself again. Now that was stated. I love that. Car at the beginning of the movie. Car at the end of the movie. Now that was done right. I love good dialogue, man. But no.
Okay.
No.
Touche.
Did I say no?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Highlights. With that said, what's your favorite parts? What's your favorite lines? You have any favorite? When the mom messes up, is it Genus or Genus? How does
I
she
got
mess
that one
it
in
up?
there. Look at you. Good job, buddy.
I'm no Genus.
All
Genus. I'm no Genus.
I think I'm going to start out with this one for the non-living legend, R.I.P. And this is in the movie, so don't cancel me. Getting old ain't for sissies.
Oh yeah, they won't take too kindly to that. It was a different time.
Yeah, that was a very good one. The next line, and tell me now if you did remember these, let me know. If not, be honest. I felt like they stole this from me. I'm not gonna lie to you. They must have saw DK even though this came out 4 years ago. The sun goes up and down like a tired
this
whore.
was timeless.
Right. The sun goes up and down like a tired whore.
Hey, you gonna be doing some fucking in there?
Now this one, I'm putting this one in one of my films. I love this one because it was so right. Wow is an all-purpose explanation. Like I walk in here, your daughter's in here with the guy you didn't see it. Wow, you come here, some weed came out of nowhere you didn't expect to get. Wow, you come home, he hasn't done dishes. Wow, it's an all-purpose explanation. She was so right about that. I love that. That was very good. Billy Crystal's a Nancy.
Where the hell was that at?
That happened. Billy Crystal's a Nancy. The dad said it. Because they were talking at the dinner. He's like, Billy Crystal's a Nancy. And it came out of nowhere. I'm like, all right, bring me back to reality, Pops. All right. There you go. There is no genius. He got so mad about that. The genius edition here.
Mom.
Oh, when we broke, I don't know what you call a wall when you go into a whole nother movie without explaining it. But when they go into that other movie that they're watching, the guy that's trying to win the girl, he's like, I realized she loved me when she said, when I told her hamburger was just a ground up cow. That was so funny to me for some reason. I really did.
Life is tough on the farm.
Yep. And then they at the dinner table.
Admit it. Did you wish that you were watching that movie instead?
I wish I was watching a lot of movies instead. I'm not gonna lie to you. It did test my filmmaker. I'm telling you, in me, it did. I also like. It's a 2-part. It's 2 people saying this. It's the mom and Jake. Remember your 50th, 20th birthday. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful. So you at that point you truly knew what you were dealing with at that point. Yeah. I really like that. I think almost 5 or 6 people, or maybe one person, because who knows who's who. It says the roads out there are treacherous, but they're not talking about the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
physically. They're talking about the road and what's going on. I love this one. Jesus Christ, I don't think we know how to be human anymore.
Is that Lucy?
No, it's Jake in the car.
Oh yeah,
I don't think we know how to be human anymore. Mm-hmm. And last one, I think we should head back home to the farm. No, the city.
Yeah, he's trying
to go back to the farm.
Well, yeah. I think that was just another hint that that they're the same person, that they're both him. Right. The farm is her home. She doesn't really have a home.
I'll say this: this movie will always be much more fun on the rewatch than the original.
I'll give you that. It was a lot more fun to watch it the second time around, knowing that I needed to be looking for things. Because when the first time I watched it, I was just like, "This is interesting. Where is this going?" But then by the end of it, I was like, "Oh shit, this is very different."
You didn't want her. You didn't want them to eat her at that table.
No, I didn't.
I thought it was a Hannibal Lecter thing going on. I really did.
Didn't cross my mind for a moment. To be honest with you,
why did they look at her toes?
I can't remember if they looked at her toes or she looked at the mom's toes. I definitely remember the cut shot.
Okay, that might have been. Those toes were ugly. She might have looked at the mom's toes.
I felt like she was looking at the toes of a corpse, like the mom is already dead.
Oh, and speaking of that, I don't think we're giving the mom enough credit.
No, we'll get to that in casting call.
Okay, well, you're talking about my favorite scenes, right?
The last thing that I want, the last. I didn't really have a scene or a line. It was more all the stuff in the house. The set decoration, the wallpaper, the trippy editing, the strange performances between the dad and the mom, and the dynamic between all of them. That was all, to me, the most fun part of the movie to watch.
Not fun. It was there.
It was. Tony Collette wasn't entertaining to watch. Do you want to go into casting call, or do you have any other scenes?
I do have another. Well, damn it, it was right there. Oh yeah. Now I do have a question. Now normally I don't have questions when we do this. I want to know your thoughts on this. Once it got to the end, I was like, oh shit. I was going to write this down as like for Carl Guinness book. This is the slowest burn ever. I was like, if they do this, then it's worth it, and it still was worth it at the end. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but
you've already said it wasn't, like multiple times.
The payoff was.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question on this. I thought that for some reason, when after they start prancing around in the hallways of the high school, when you see the janitor go back and stop her from with the guy, I'm like, wait a minute. And the guy throws the blood up. I'm like, wait a minute. Did a rape happen? For some reason, I thought that the janitor who played by Jake raped one of the girls there, and she killed his boyfriend, and they were like high school sweethearts while he was throwing the blood up, and that's why he's been feeling guilty and staying there ever since. I'm like, why would they put that there if it didn't mean anything? What is your thought process?
That crossed my mind that there was something nefarious in Jake's past, like something the way he would look at the kids. That it almost like, is he admiring the performance or is he like being a creeper? But
Because it makes no sense. Remember how smart they say he is at the dinner table? He's
no, parents always say that though.
Huh?
Not your mom. She dogs you.
And then look where I ended up at. I need more moms like that.
But I think that he wouldn't be allowed to work at the school anymore if something like that happened. That whole attack scene was him fighting his younger self. It was the young hope versus like old bitterness, and the old bitterness won, and that's why the girl left at that point.
I'll stop right there because I'm going to end with points on that, so that's fine.
Okay. The casting call.
Right.
I got a few actual casting calls before we get into our recasting. Brie Larson was originally cast as the lead role. She had to step down to focus on Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Or maybe she needed to step up and focus on that.
According to IMDb, Anne Hathaway, Kristen Stewart, and Lindsay Lohan were all considered for the lead role.
Where's my girl? Oh, I'll say it when we come back to her.
So I just was going to do Lucy and Jake. Who would you recast Lucy and Jake?
Does age matter?
Not in this movie.
Kate Blanchett.
Of course you would. Yep.
Kate. We can still make
Kate
this happen,
Blanchett
baby.
plays Lucy.
I don't see color.
And then Tilda Swinton can play Jake.
Or Splash.
I wanted to say Zac
Steven.
Efron.
We need to, let's talk about Steve. Ezra. Yeah, Ezra.
Yeah.
Ezra. So, but yeah, I would say either Kate Blanchett for that, or you know what? Our Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence, I can see her do it. Yeah, because the job she did in Don't Look Up, I know she can do this. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
I think mine are gonna blow yours out of the water. I would do Florence Pugh and Adam Driver, and I would say Adam Driver could pull off the quiet intensity and internalized torment, and Florence Pugh could bring the emotional weight to drive the movie.
why is it still so wet on me right here?
Huh?
I didn't get blown out of the water. I'm still wet. No, that was a good choice, man.
I think it would have been just as good of a movie, if not better, with Florence Pugh and Adam Driver. I think Adam Driver definitely could do anything that Jesse Plemons has done.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
Murphy.
I don't like him. I don't like him in anything. He's not. I don't know what.
What do you think he's getting these roles because of his eyes?
Probably. And he's willing.
That's okay.
He's willing to hang dong.
What does that mean?
He'll drop trowel.
I see you two have celebrity crushes. All right.
28 days later, opens up, looking right down to the hospital bed.
Pedro Pascal.
He's
the dad.
Everybody's on his dick right now. I don't know.
Probably maybe because he can act.
I don't have anything against him. I loved him in The Unbearable Weight of whatever the hell the Nicolas Cage movie was. I like him, but
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody can do it. Adrian Brody can do anything.
Now who's on his dick? All right.
All right, Scene Stealers. My honorable mention goes to Toni Collette. Her performance was fun, entertaining to behold. She plays unhinged too well. It just reminded me of her role in Hereditary. So that's my honorable mention. Who's yours honorable?
Honestly, I'm going to go with the old version of Jake, the janitor. That's the honorable mention.
Because he hanged on. He dropped trowel.
No, not because of that, but because he didn't have. If you notice, he didn't have that many lines. But if you go back and watch the film a second time, every scene they had him in, it was purposeful for what he was doing.
I don't know. That was the worst. Either I know nothing what it looks like to die of hypothermia, or he was a terrible overactor when he was.
Oh, that was horrible.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. It just came off as like, this is everything in this movie has been subtle, and now all of a sudden it's.
Well, was it so bad they had to throw an animated pig right in there to make you forget what he just did?
I mean, they literally had to, because pigs can't walk on wet surfaces or turn their head gracefully. They had to use the animated pig. IMDb.
Penguins can't turn their head either, can they?
I think so. They just have to turn their whole body.
Speaking of penguin, Cillian Murphy was in Batman, and he played Scarecrow. I just did that to bring it back.
Yeah. The worst of the Nolan villains.
Are you? What?
I'm dead serious. Put him up against Heath Ledger as Joker and wise decision, Batman.
Damn it. You might be right.
Yeah, I might be.
Oppenheimer.
My scene stealer is Jessie Buckley as Lucy. Her performance was quietly confident and subtle. The subtle shifts in her character were seamless. Like, I didn't realize until the second watch that she was like subtly changing who she was, from in the car to acting like the mom to
You know who she reminded me of?
who?
The nun from what we just saw, Phoenicia Scheme.
I
Remember the
see that.
cigarette came out of
Yeah,
nowhere and
yeah,
stuff?
wasn't.
Did you know? Remember I was talking about the vibrant colors? It was her more so I was talking about everybody else for the, and I feel like I know, I'm specifically talking about her hair. Because it was through the eyes of Jake's character. He saw as this beautiful, pretty, just everything. So she was really there. Like I feel like her makeup, her color of her hair, it was really colorful. Everything else was desaturated.
Mm-hmm. She resembled the house, which he considered to be his safe place.
Yes, but I'll get to that in a moment. Yeah. So my scene stealer, of course, can't take it away from Jesse, man.
Yeah, you could.
I won't, because
He was good.
Here's the thing. No.
I'm just so used to seeing him pull that off. Like,
Oh, he's never pulled this off before.
really quiet, tormented, potentially dangerous.
I've seen that. But give me that car ride. No other man could have did that 40-minute car ride. He had to listen to everything. That's why he kept looking like, are you saying something? Like, I think he broke character like 5 times. He's like, are you okay?
What are you thinking about?
And that's why I think the director kept that. Like, they were like, hey, can we run this again? Like, no, keep going, keep going.
So you give it to Jake, not Jesse.
What do you mean?
You're giving it to Jake, not
Is
Jesse.
it?
Because you're giving it to a.
I meant to say Jake. I'm sorry. I meant to say
No,
Jake.
no. You said what you meant.
No,
and
I heard
mean
you
what I
say
said.
Jesse. Jesse's a unisex name. I meant no.
No, but you're not. That's not on any merit of acting ability.
The boy. I want the boy in the car with the girl. It was him. That's what I want.
I understand that, but your reason why has nothing to do with his performance and everything.
Yes, it does.
What the character had to
Listen,
endure.
We've made movies and we've seen movies to where an actor can be on screen with someone else, and sometimes they have to carry them, and I give them extra weight for
You
that.
think he carried her during those car scenes?
I surely did. You been in the car with a woman for that long?
I gave her.
Angela, this has nothing to do with you.
Again, this is what the character had to endure, not the actor. The actor just got to sit there and relax. She did like most of the monologuing.
Is that what you call that?
She did like a 7-page poem.
That she wrote?
She read it. She recited it.
You
I
naive
said it
young-
right there. The monologue she had to pull off was impressive on their own.
You
I wrote
naive
that.
young man. I could talk for 7 minutes and make it sound like a monologue. You better
I
wait.
know.
Right,
I
you
know.
don't appreciate me doing it, but you put this little Jezebel up there, and all of a sudden she's the belle of the ball. Get it together.
She didn't make up a poem off the cuff. She
All
recited
poems are made up. What are you talking about? Are you high?
These were words on paper that she committed to memory and then recited and
I have words on
made
paper.
tears fall at the right time at the end of it.
Did you see Far From the Tree?
I
I did
smelled
it.
Tiger Balm.
Liar.
This episode is sponsored by
You're
Tiger
a liar.
Balm.
I used that in one film.
ChatGPT and Tiger Balm, helping filmmakers and actors.
No comment.
So that's your scene still. Well, I mean, both. So between you thinking that he did an amazing job and me thinking she did an amazing
Does
job,
not make it an amazing
this
film.
must be an amazing film.
It is not. It would have been an amazing Broadway play, but I will say this. When I finally realized what did happen, it was just like, all right, at least this movie won't make me hate it because there was something here. But they stretched it out like the longest accordion ever, but it was a true and valid story. And here's the thing, now that we're talking about it and we're here, I think that there is, if you really look at this and strip all the layers away, forget all being, oh, this is the shot, this is the dialogue. There is a true sad story here from beginning to end. And it says something. And again, hear me out here. Ferris Bueller, what does he say? Life moves so fast, if you don't stop, you can miss, and look around, you can miss it. He did stop. He looked at all these other kids. They were his Ferris Buellers, and he missed everything, which is why, from his perspective, he's thinking about ending things, and he did.
Fuck's given.
You have nothing to say about that? Dude, I just dropped the fucking Nagasaki on you. What are you talking about?
I'm not wet.
I just used that, man.
You're in my head. You're my Lucy.
Oh, you mean like Scarlett Johansson? That'll calm him down.
What we would change? I'm gonna go first because I know you'll just go. I can theorize why Kaufman paced the film the way he did. It almost slips you into a dreamlike state as you're watching it. But if I had to change anything, it'd be finding a way to accomplish these things without using a pacing that would make most common movie watchers turn it off before it gets good. That's what I would change.
I'm not light-skinned, I'm not a rapper, and I'm not common. So don't call me that. I'm not a movie watcher. I do movies.
I'm just saying, I agree with you about the pacing. I don't know how it could have been done differently. I just wish that it was. All the stuff in the house.
Get out the fucking car and act a little. Move around. Let the blood circulate. That's why you guys are cold.
Maybe they had a low budget, and I think the car was another device. It just put you in a certain place by the time you got to the house.
It triggered me. It was a device.
Okay.
All right.
What do you want to change?
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate.
As someone that liked the movie.
No. But what I would change is honestly, literally, I'm not gonna lie. It's just the runtime, man. I would either runtime and or location, meaning don't make this a film. Give me a stage play, and I probably will praise this to the heavens, because the stage play. What do you get? What do you get here? We're an hour and in. Got some wine coming. Intermission. Go out. Everybody discuss their theories. All right, when we get back, we're gonna find out everything that happened. We're in this together. I'm not in this car by myself. Okay. But sitting there watching it on Netflix, and they definitely dropped this on doing the only time you could have 4 years ago. Pandemic, COVID, anybody.
Everybody was stuck at home.
And I was stuck in that car. I'm still there.
They couldn't go out and enjoy their stage plays. They had to stay home and enjoy them on Netflix. And Charlie Kaufman gave me that possibility. And you could pause it whenever you want and have your intermission.
You don't have to pause it. It's slow enough.
That's yeah. Can you imagine like taking a 6-hour trip and just watching this movie on repeat the whole time you're on the trip?
I jump out. I jump.
Yeah, the pacing could have been. I don't know how, but it could have been. I wish it was.
But don't get me wrong. I'll put it this way: it could have been, the pacing could have been better. But as slow as it was deliberate and had a purpose. That's what I would give it.
If you want this kind of feel and this kind of abstractness and storytelling and like mental fuckery, but different pacing, watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
True.
It's kind of like the weirdness and trippiness of what happens in the house for the whole movie. Turned up a little bit.
I can see that.
That was Michael Gondry that directed that one. Charlie Kaufman just wrote it. So you have like the abstract storytelling, but Michael Gondry is a music video director, so he's more like pop, pop, pop.
Or here's the thing: give me an 8-episode season, limited release on Netflix, and I would have probably praised it.
I think it's Michel Gondry. Damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. He did. I think he did Dave Chappelle Block Party. I want to say
you did. Yeah, we talked about that. He definitely did do that. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I know we got a lot of stuff here, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Well, I got some things I loved. If you don't have anything else that you want to change,
I'll change. Just wanted to. Oh, one last thing, because I was not forgiving myself. I think I tried to mention this earlier. I don't care which character he was playing or what he was thinking of. That creeped me the fuck out when she was already weirded out by the parents the whole time, and as somebody's talking, she just simply just.
I told you that. That was in my theory. Well, you weren't here for it.
I was over there.
You were in another space and time.
Space time.
That's because she was like an emulation of Jake. That was really, if you think about it, like as him being her being his daughter or
son,
an offspring of his. It's not weird at all that she put his head on his shoulder like that.
But it is weird to the visual because. I don't know that at that moment.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be drawing for that reason. You're like, well, that doesn't fit. So in order to make that fit, this must be true.
Let's not forget the older granddad version of Pops. You're gonna be fucking in this bed.
Yeah, he was
getting a little loose.
Angela only knows him from Harry Potter, and she was.
Who's in Harry Potter?
She was triggered by that.
Old boy's dad. Oh.
Yeah, he was Lupin.
I bet. He can't wait to get back to Hogwarts.
It's another movie that he transformed in. Connection.
Let's see what you did there. What did you love?
I love everything about this movie.
You're lying.
My first note. It says it right there. I wrote that down. The visuals, the metaphors, the editing, the performances. Like I said, this would be a movie if I had no compromises. This is like the kind of movies that I'm aiming to make. I love movies that take a really simple framework. A girl goes with her boyfriend to meet his parents. That's what it is on the surface. But it explores big existential ideas and questions while always feeling like so much more is going on. It's simple on the surface, but it has all this happening brewing beneath it. It becomes fun to watch once you realize everything. Like I said, the second time was much more fun because I knew that everything was going to mean something in this. Nothing is what it actually is. Everything is a representation of something else. And it's like playing a detective when you watch a movie.
What do you think is going to happen when he gets to hell? Because don't get me wrong, there's
Charlie Kaufman?
No.
Oh, Jake?
Yeah, because think about it.
Why do you think he's going to hell?
Suicide.
Why do you think he's going anywhere?
Suicide. whenever you commit suicide, it's a theorized that you go to
Okay,
hell.
to play devil's advocate, hell exists.
Okay, so then he
Jake
goes
is
to
there.
hell, and then he gets there, and you're like, I get it, I'm coming to hell. They're like, no, you can't be here with us. You need to go on this side of hell. Like, why? All these people committed suicide. You got naked, and you walked out and got with a pig. We haven't seen this shit in a millennia.
He went walking around a high school.
Thus, to my point, there was a rape. Rape! Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Rape!
It was another visual. That was the place that like strips him down.
Why does everything have to be a visual when it gets sexual and pedophilia?
It's not. It's everything in this movie.
Sounds of freedom.
Something else. He didn't really get. Well, he really did get naked because I looked it up, and it's called paradoxical undressing.
Did he really buy all those milkshakes?
No,
hey, little girl.
That was in the head. That was the loop. But the undressing, for some reason, when hypothermia starts setting in, your body tells your brain that it's overheating, and they call it paradoxical undressing. That's why people mostly freeze to death when hypothermia sets in, because they don't help themselves.
Naked man in high school always ends in death or crime. He was naked. He went into high school. Oh wait, no, he didn't. He actually was in the car, but
yeah, he never got out of the car.
It's like the ultimate fuck you. Like when they were shoveling the snow off, like, is that a cock? Like you gotta think about, because he's naked.
But he might not have actually died.
Please tell me he's dead.
At the end, if you would, I know you didn't stick around till after the credits.
I did.
You did?
I didn't. But immediately after, I was so pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I was so pissed after the movie's off. I went and watched a 14-minute review, and they bought the part you're finna bring up.
Where the car, you hear a car start under the snow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the pig.
He never got out of the car and went to the school.
But it's safe to say he didn't survive hypothermia either.
I mean, it maybe, but he was encased in the snow that may have warmed him up.
Now, you know what I thought was going to happen right there? I'm not going to lie to you. At that very moment, I'm like, if they saved this for the end and this was the treat, like they were a family, I thought we had like a Benjamin reverse button situation going. I thought when he took his clothes off, he was finna start back over again younger and then keep reliving everything. That's why he got naked as a baby would be born. That's what I thought that he was doing.
Reverse Benjamin Button.
Yes. I thought in that house, they all went through these time loops. And now he said, I want it to end. He wanted the loop to end. He left and then he restarted again to try to change. So look, I see you over there. See you.
Okay. Before we say our 1 through 5, I have a question for you. Don't be a dick.
Okay.
It's outside of film critic.
Okay.
What feeling that I'm thinking of ending things leave you with? And do you think that the emotional residue was more important than the story itself?
I think what feeling did it leave me feeling with?
Yeah.
I'll answer that. So outside of film, and I'm glad you prefaced that way because that is the perfect way to preface it. It's a message to a lot of people out there, which is stop hoping what you're going to do. Stop letting your situations dictate that I'm stuck here. Nobody is stuck. Life is free will is one thing, but we still all have choices. And so and that's why I really kept bringing up the high school. Like, think about it. He had, what'd you say, a minimum of 20 years. Mm-hmm. You're talking about at least 10,000 students over that time. And so every year, even if half those students fail, they still go on to do things in life. And so to me, that's why it's telling people, hey, listen, don't get caught up like this, because to not live is to die. That's the feeling it left me with. He never lived. He was a son.
So he committed suicide
He was
long ago.
He was a sheep. He ate. Mm-hmm. He shit. He died.
Yeah. Okay.
Royal for the fucking win.
I give it a 4.5. For all the reasons that I've said in this whole episode. I just think it was a very good movie.
3.3.
3.3?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. I would just take away the 0.5 for mine because, like I said, it could be more interesting in the car.
He wants more car. Hey, what we need? I'm dying. My only cure is a little cowbell.
I don't want more car, but I'm saying if it could be a 2 hour and 14-minute movie with the same amount of time existing in the car, but figure out some kind of way to keep me engaged during that whole car ride rather than tempting me. Because I feel like the filmmaker Charlie Kaufman is purposefully trying to make it feel longer than it actually is.
And he succeeded.
Most of the time, filmmakers are like, I'm going to make this feel as quickly as possible. Like, we're gonna make this 20 minutes feel like 10. I feel like Charlie Kaufman did the exact opposite intentionally. I'm going to make this 20 minutes feel like 40. And I just wouldn't have done that.
I will give him credit for this. Even if people were about to walk out or they hated and they feel like they didn't get enough to even want to know what happened, that very last scene in the high school, and it was visually done perfectly. the 3 or 4 of them lining up behind each other time-wise and then coming to meet each other, that would make me rewatch it and go through all the pain again to see it. But like, because now I know, even if I was thinking this was a time period piece, I 100% know now.
Okay. All right. That was a good talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
You thought I hated it.
3.3, 4.5. I still feel like you kind of hated it. All right. That's
Next.
our review of I'm thinking of ending things. I'm thinking of ending this episode now. So
Before you do that,
July 24th, what do we got?
A Soldier's Story, starring a young Denzel, a young David
Angela's
Allen.
over there looking it up with a scowl.
She
What am I
is.
going to have to fucking watch next week?
She's going to go to work on Monday. Be like, so we've been seeing these little things you've been Googling. But yes, that guys, if you've never, listen, it came out in 1984. Me and David were probably 13 months old at the time.
Okay,
so
well, now you're letting them know that I definitely failed. And
I wasn't going to bring that back up.
Torpedo, blasting through walls. No script, no filter, I'm wrecking these halls. He's a smooth operator with a sharp tongue. Together with trouble like a loaded gun. That's the fucking trailer, hold on tight. Breaking movies in black and white. One's got notes, the other's a riot. Striking folks, we won't be quiet. We joke about skin, we laugh about shade. No one's safe in the jokes we've made. This is absurd, a time to offend, but all ain't good fun. No need to pretend. We joke about skin, we laugh about shade. No one's safe in the jokes we've made. It's absurd, a time to offend, but all good fun. No need to pretend.
And don't forget, after you hit subscribe, don't forget to have those pets spayed and neutered. RIP.
EIP.
Come on down. The same R from the washing machine when she finally went down and she looked at the R on the washing. You're saying it
Was
like
it
you don't
R or
remember it.
EHS?
It's a R. It's a R.
Okay.
You don't even need to pull it, brother. My
I'm
last
not
name is
pulling
Roy. You don't think I saw that R bright and
I mean, I
proud?
took notes for a reason.
To tell me I'm right?
Yeah. If you're right, you're right. I'm not gonna get
Find
to
it.
here. Yeah.
Or you just trust your co-host?
You can keep going. You can keep going. I'm listening.
No, you don't. I need you. I need your full. No. I know you. I know you, guy.
Yeah, it's Jake is the janitor.
No, but it says R though.
EHS. I took that note. It's EHS.
It's R.
What? Let's go back. Why do you think? What is R?
I don't know what the
Are you
fuck it
talking-
means.
Are
I'm
you
just
talking about on his shirts.
Yeah, that's just talking about on
All
the
the
shirts.
shirts that she pulls out of the washer?
No. The main one when she looks at the janitor uniform to confirm that
EHS.
he is the janitor.
It's EHS.
It's an R.
I'm gonna put a screenshot up right here, and one of us is gonna look silly. I don't think it's gonna be me.
I already have on a scarf, so you need to catch up.
Depends on how close the E is to the R on the keyboard. It might have been a typo.
Put it this way, I was sitting about 8 feet back, so maybe the point of view does change.
An E could look like an R.
Two things can be right. Homage. Two things can be right.
Yeah, but okay. So yeah, go.
I was just bringing that. I'll just bring it up. That confirm. If people are wondering what's going on, there's no reason you won't think that he's the janitor now because clearly the janitor's clothes. That was just a connection.
Yeah,
that
there'd
is
be no
him.
reason for those clothes to be in the
Correct,
washer at his
100%.
house. Yeah.
Now I want to reiterate this again.
Is it Is it R? RHS?
That sure looks like an R on his thing right there.
Thank
Let me
you,
see it.
Angela. One of us is going to look silly.
Blurry picture.
It's not blurry. It's real clear to me.
It looks like an R to me.
Okay.
And I
There,
thought it was an R as well.
there
Why don't you
is-
try to change this R into like a 4-letter word? Go ahead.
I got another screenshot though.
You have an apology? I thought you had an apology.
Right next to each other.
There's a big R, but there's a EHS underneath.
There's a big ass sitting next to me, not telling me that I'm
Why
right.
would there be a big R and then EHS?
I don't know.
It's probably RHS.
No. We'll see.
We don't.
What's the town they live in?
I don't know.
Confucius.
Anyway,
I know what I saw anyway. I'm so happy that
it
happened.
doesn't matter what it says. It was.
Apparently, then why'd you make such a big deal out of it? Why
Look,
would you look?
I wanted to stand on truth.
My last name starts with R. You don't think I picked that out? Like, I need one of
I
those.
think that bit me why you
Assumed
imagined
that it was
Yeah.
that? No. Okay. I really did. If this would have happened, I really wanted this. Other than the Get Out theme of this, I really thought that it was going to go with the. Are you still looking for the R, man?
No.
Yeah, you are?
I am.
We're gonna hold on when David looks for this R, so we
I
can get
sent you proof.
of the R.
Check your text.
Check your text, Dave.
I
Your
got
wi-
the timestamp. I'm on Netflix.
you
right
don't
now.
need
Going
it.
straight
Me
to
and
the
your
source.
wife have spoken.
Okay, let me zoom in on this now.
You on the peyotes again?
RHS underneath it.
But it is an R, right?
Mm-hmm.
A big one.
A big one.
Well, I'm taking a picture.
How do you live with this
won't
man?
let me
I
take
feel
a
like
picture.
he's sitting over there editing a picture.
He probably is.
I'm not. I want the truth.
I sent you the truth.
Right. I started with the
You
truth.
can't handle it.
Okay,
Right.
in my defense, an R does look a lot like an E.
You just need to add a TARD to it. Yeah.
It's a typo.
Yeah.
It's an asshole is what's sitting next to me. So with that being said, I did. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. Really, we hope you enjoyed this.
But after July 7th or August 7th, after the Soldier Story episode, we're gonna do the double feature, Happy Gilmore 1 and 2.
Yes.
Also on Netflix. Shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Bob Barker. And don't forget, after you hit subscribe, don't forget to have those pets spayed and neutered. RIP.